Hey kawan, welcome to EDCReady. Today I have another unboxing of a CRKT knife. So before I begin, I just want to give a shout out to Thomas Tools at thomastools.com.my because they sent me this loaner knife to check it out, do an unboxing video, do some videos, test it out, and just check it out. You know, if you're looking for some knives, CRKT, Zero Tolerance, Spider Coast, QSPs, Roix, you know, just check out thomastools.com.my. It will really help out the channel because it really shows that this channel supports other knife distributors and knife companies here in Malaysia, and that's what we're all about. We're all about that community. So without further ado, let's get into the CRKT Confidence in Hand Columbia River Knife and Tools. What we have here is the CRKT Compact Razel in carbon fiber, really tiny knife. Okay, this is some people call it the Stubby Razel, and I'll show you why. Okay, here we go. First things first, let's check out the knife. We have here some carbon fiber, and it's not bad carbon fiber. A lot of carbon fiber from cheaper companies such as Ganzo, which I do own. It tends to be really slick and really just smooth. But this, you have a nice matte finish, and then the carbon fiber does play with the light a little bit, as you can see here. So that's all good. And it is, I can't exactly tell, but it looks like this is a full slab of carbon fiber. It's not like carbon fiber over G10 that you see in something like a Ganzo, but it looks like the carbon fiber is true carbon fiber all the way through. It's not a sticker. Alright, moving on. We do have a tip down carry pocket clip. I'm not too big of a fan of tip down carry. I prefer tip up carry. For the main reason is because when you grip the knife, right, you want it kind of to fill up in the back of your hand and to be thinner or narrower at the front so you can really grip it in. If you have the clip at the front, then at the end of the day, you're just gonna like, it's just adding a little bit extra bulk at the front. But that's just personal preference. Some people don't mind it. We have here full steel liners, 3 standoffs right here. Sorry, 2 standoffs, and then one I forgot what it's called, 1 stop pin. And overall, it's a pretty heavy knife. It's a pretty thick knife as well. If I'm just gonna take a bit of a measurement right here, the thickness of the knife is at 0.61 inches, which is definitely one of the thicker knives I've ever well, I don't own this, I have to return it. One of the thicker knives I've ever held in my hand. I tend to prefer the sub half an inch, sub 0.5 to 0.4 inches. The Dragonfly is at 0.34, which is really thin, which I really like. Okay, so this is not a flipper tab, I think. No, that is not a flipper tab. On the inside here we have, as you can see here, you have some white in there, so it shows that it is Teflon washes. And let's take this out. It is a liner lock, of course, or some people might call it a bolster lock. Alright, yeah, so this is the liner lock. Not bad. This is the first time I've actually held a Razel blade. And sorry, so what is a Razel blade? A Razel blade is a razor, which is this part right here, with a sharp point, so that's a razor, and then chisel. So Razel is razor plus chisel, and that's what this knife is all about. So this knife is definitely one of the more utilitarian knives out there. Okay, it is not designed for things like a kitchen prep, to my understanding, but what it does have is that it has 2 sharp edges. You have a sharp edge here, and then you have a sharp point over here, and that's great for my kind of cuts that I use on a regular basis, where I puncture and pull, puncture and drag. You can definitely cut stuff like that. You want to cut up some rope, you can definitely do that, although you don't really have as much length as you need. We only have here about, on paper it has 2.13 inches worth of blade, and on my measurement here I also have 2.13 inches, so that's right, that's about correct. Not as thick as I thought it would be, so at 0.12 inches, which is nice, especially that even though it's not a very high grind, it is a hollow grind. So this hollow grind makes it a little bit more sharper at the tip here. So great for cutting, great for piercing, and also the secondary edge here is great for if you need to do any kind of scraping. You need to scrape off some paint or some glue residue. This is what it's for. And in cases of emergency, you could use it for some light prying. I do not advertise or advocate prying with your knife. Knives are not meant to pry because it has, especially folding knives, they're not meant to pry because it has a hinge. Please use a pry bar for that. I also have some jimping back here. A little bit, it's alright. No, it gives a lot of grip. The edges here are not exactly rounded, so it's a little bit sharp, but it's not too bad. This is definitely designed to be more of a worker's knife, a knife used to do some maybe some woodworking, maybe some repairs at home, and so on and so forth, but definitely not a bushcrafting knife. For that, you might want to look into the larger Razel, which they also have. Alright, so yeah, that is my first impressions. Nice carbon fiber, not digging the pocket clip. It has some nice grip here, but the edges here are a little bit sharp. I can already feel that. Number one, the lock bar is extremely hard to press to disengage the lock, and then it is definitely a hard knife to open and close. It's not going to be a fidgety knife at all. This is definitely a function forward and puts fun and even looks way at the end of the spectrum. Okay, there we go. So that is my first impression of the CRKT Stubby Razel. So you want to check it out, do check it out at thomastools.com.my. And of course, if you guys want to support the channel, do check out the description box down below and check out my Patreon account. I am selling some of my knives there. And thank you very much, guys. Have a great day and stay ready.